All right, we should be back up.
Yeah, I think we are. I think we are back up, Mikey.
Sweet. After a very lengthy red flag, it was just a red flag. A lot of cleanup on the backstretch. But we're back racing here.
We're back racing. You know what? They're not scared to make another parking lot, so we're going to go 3 wide one more time. How about that down that back straightaway with Kenneth right now leading the way.
Yeah, and you see changing lanes on the straightaways is definitely very, very risky. And, you know, we see him doing it there. Good job by these guys, you know, heads up racing and, you know, able to get down to that bottom, take the lead, but not clean, though. I mean, the 90 truck is right to his outside, and I believe that is Daniel Eberhardt, who is in that 90 truck, and a face that we've not really seen tonight, and Dylan Jones up on that outside in the 11 truck, another driver that we've not really seen tonight.
And he's getting pushed by RS Centers in that number 110. So you look at that right there, Mike. It's tight, but look at how that 90, the rear end looked really, I don't know the correct word to say it. It was squirming. How about that?
Yeah, and whenever you get a truck really tight to your, you know, back bumper, it really makes it hard to control it. You don't really have much control in the truck whenever that's happening, whenever you have a driver really, really pushing you. And, you know, we definitely see a lot of these drivers struggle when that happens. And really, it's because you'll hear the term lifting the back tires off the ground. That's practically what it's doing. Is that, you know, once you kind of hook your nose to the rear end of the truck in front of you, you know, wherever the truck in the back goes, the rear end of the truck in front also goes. So, you know, if the front of the truck and the back of the truck aren't going the same way, it usually just kind of turns them around. And luckily able to keep it pretty clean. And, you know, we got still a 3 wide battle for the lead here.
Definitely look at the 03, Kenneth down there on the inside, lead the way, but you got that 11 to the middle there, and you have that 110 of RS Centers on the outside as they head into turn number 3. We're still 3 wide, many rows deep. As you look at that outside line, gets a little squirmy there. Oh, 11, looked like he got a little loose, went up, or maybe tied, I don't know, but cut off RS Centers. So I mean, good job for RS getting off the gas there. The driver giving a push behind him, letting off too at the same time. That could be a catastrophe there. Yeah, something that.
Yeah, nevertheless, I don't think he really wanted to make that move. He was just kind of put in a position where he had to make it. And luckily, you know, good heads-up driving there for RS and able to kind of let him right back in. And yeah, you know, we're still racing pretty hard here for the lead. And we'll probably see this throughout the rest of this race as, you know, we're getting within 25 or 35 laps it is to go. Lap 64 out of 100 so far in the Freedom 100 tonight. Been a very good race so far. Only one major wreck. It looks like we've had a few smaller wrecks on and off. I believe 3 cautions so far right now in the middle of this race. But, yeah, you know, action's heating up here in the front still like it has been all night.
Definitely, as you look at lap car there on the inside line, or that yellow line, trying to stay out everybody's way as lap number 64 is in the books. This is where lap number 65. And you look at the lines, I mean, the drivers, they have really tightened up all 3 of those lines. So, I mean, one wrong move could be disastrous for the whole entire field. As they come off of turn number 2, down the back straightaway, it's a drag race down the back straightaway still. As you look at the 04 comes, the 90, he pulls down to the inside over Kenneth, but now look at 11.
Yeah, and Dylan able to get a really good run through that middle line as we saw him, you know, pushing the 90 truck that's Daniel Eberhardt, the 90 truck on the last straightaway. Really able to push him out front, but again, that 03 truck, Kenneth McCullough, always see him up front some way, like he's just always up front. It's insane, and he's made his way back up front. He's leading that bottom line with help from the 05 of Matthew Baker. They both started 1st and 3rd tonight, and they look like they're still 1st and 3rd on that bottom lane. So good job by those boys to stay up front tonight.
Now turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Lap cars ahead of these leaders. And let's see what they do. They're going to pull to the inside that yellow line, allowing the drivers to get around them. And that's Drew Parole into 80 going a lap down. But the 90 machine leading the way right now here in turn number 3.
And Daniel Eberhardt able to clear himself on that bottom, and that really kind of got the bottom line bunched up, and it allowed them to actually get about 2 to 3 cars clear. We'll see if Kenneth McCullough here going to try to make a move. Not going to be able to get to the outside, but Daniel Eberhardt will make a move, and this is going to stack up the entire field. They better watch out right there. 4 wide, it looks like, almost. And it looks like they're going to be able to kind of separate it back out, but a pretty close call there for the 46 and the 60 machine in the middle of the pack. But nevertheless, looks like Daniel Eberhardt again with the push from Baker, or not Baker, as the 11 truck of Dylan Jones. Looks like they're able to get that middle line working again. He's clear to go back down to the bottom, and you'll see Daniel Eberhardt take it. And now Dylan Jones again, able to see if he can get side by side with Eberhardt, and he will.
Hey, look, the outside line is formed back up, gotten wounded back up. It is starting to make its way back to the front as they head to the start-finish line. It'd be 67 laps in the books at the line as we're on lap number 68. And look ahead into turn number 1. I mean, look at the outside line. It is definitely squirmy.
Yeah, that's the 92 up there. I believe that's John Ward. He has made himself the first truck on that outside line. And it looks like that outside line's pretty bunched up, so maybe another appearance here for that third line. But again, like I said earlier, once you get on that outside line, you can really dump air on that spoiler on that middle line, which will slow them down, and they're already slowing the inside line down enough. So it allows that outside line to form up very quickly. You have to have at least 4 to 5 trucks up there, and they do. You can see Eberhardt going back to the middle, maybe throwing a block here on Dylan Jones once again. And that's going to allow that outside line to maybe get a run here, but not less so that inside line. You can see Kenneth McCullough able to really get up front. And Cody Neagle is going to drop down to the bottom and take that third lane spot. And there comes the 04 of Matthew Lee. Is going to take the third place spot in the middle line. So a lot of movement going on right now, shuffling in and out. And you can see RS Center jump down to the middle line. And I believe that's John Ross. We're not talking, or I believe that is his name, or Chad Ross it is. Oh, one truck sideways.
And he saves it.
Yeah, I believe that was Joe Zalo in the 60 truck. That was very close, but what a save. And they're able to actually keep it up, with speed as well. They didn't really lose any speed out of that. So what a great save.
Definitely. Right now, you look at them, they're in turn number 4, actually coming off of turn number 4 to put lap number 69 in the books. And where I got people calling out their pits, so
yeah.
Pit stops should be happening pretty shortly, starting next time by.
Yeah, lap 70. This means that they'll have to go at least one more stop, probably around lap 90 or so, if they're going to be pitting now. So I'm not sure if maybe this is the entire field coming down, because I feel like they last pitted on like lap 55-ish. So this may be for someone who is not pitted about 4 wide in the back, or not even in the back, that's the middle of the pack. So at least based off the last caution, that'd be kind of an early pit stop. So we'll see how many people come down pit road this time by, because I think they would go a little bit longer to maybe try to make it on one more stop.
Let's see.
Yeah, no takers from this front pack. So I really forget when they started going green. I believe they went green on lap 60, which means that they probably pitted around lap 58 or so. So if they can go there, they can at least make it, probably to around lap 80 before they have to pit. So, and that's about where you want to get to, because if you can make it to lap 80, you can really make it the rest of the way on fuel. You can see still 3 wide for the lead. Few lap cars coming up again. Most of the lap cars have been very good about getting out of the way, but Chad Ross on that outside line, able to get pushed up to the front now, but again, not going to be able to keep up that momentum. Here comes the 05 of Matthew Baker. And then still looks like Eberhardt on that bottom line being pushed by Kenneth McCullough, able to maybe get out a little bit ahead, but that outside line definitely lost a lot of ground. So now it's just the bottom 2 lines battling for the lead as they hit the start-finish line for lap 72.
Definitely get excited. You know what they should do? All of them pit just like that going down pit road.
I would love to see
that. That would be interesting, that's for sure. The outside line's fading back a little bit. But you look, I mean, RS Center, he's getting kind of squashed there momentarily, that center line, that 110. But look at the run outside line gets down at number 38, being pushed by the 92 here. That's John Ward 92 pushing the 38. 38 goes to the inside or the middle line as they head off of the turn here down the tri-oval. Did I say that right, Mikey?
It's a big tri-oval.
A big tri-oval. This is something, right?
Oh man, Chad Ross really had his hands full there for a second. He was dead sideways coming out of the tri-oval, and the tri-oval is actually, speaking of it, is the most treacherous place on this track. Oh, we got contact. Chad Ross onto the apron. A lot of cars on the apron. One car spinning in the back, able to save it. What a save from the 7 truck. I believe that was the 7 of some sort of Austin Green, who made a fantastic save. But it looked like, you know, they were just kind of bouncing off of one another there, and they just kind of got loose, tight everywhere, and luckily able to save it and keep this thing going. But now it looks like the 46 is going to take over our lead. That is the 46 of, let's see if we can find who the 46 is. Matthew Selby. We've seen up front a lot. Oh, 3 wide for second. This is not good right here. This is going to be a wreck. This is going to be a wreck.
Oh, no, we're going to save.
Wow, what a save. That was not good. Everyone just kind of got checked up there, and that's like really what you don't want to have happen. There's a lot of trucks checking up because everyone who has a big run, like, just cannot see what's going on, especially kind of when they get single file like that off of another save. So, they're going to wreck soon, Steve. Come to 25 to go next time by. I don't know how much longer these guys are going to go if they stay 3 wide, because we've already seen them save it 3 wide twice, 2 laps in a row. So, you know, there's still, again, 26 laps left. You know, you kind of got to calm down a little bit. There's a lot left in this race. I mean, there's still over a fourth of the race left. So,
well, how about the dirt veteran now? You know, talk about Matthew Selby. He came from asphalt side, went to the dirt side, struggled a little bit, now has done like a 360 to the dirt side, really successful, and now on a plate track here, not leading the way to Majula C Speed Shop, car number 46 there with CFM Motorsports. I mean, doing a great job at that number 46. You got the 11 on the outside of them, and that is Dylan Jones hanging in there with them.
And the 34 is Michael Triscaro right behind them as well. And really quickly, kind of bring that up is like everyone, and Lucas Lyons leading that outside line, just seeing that now, but everyone really thinks it's really easy to drive a plate track, or as they now call them, super speedways, because they don't use restrictor plates in the Cup Series. But when you come to these super speedways, it is full throttle all the way around whenever you're by yourself. But whenever you're in a group of cars, you're really off the throttle a lot. RS Center's really loose there in the middle of the corner after you tap from behind. But, you know, you're off the throttle. You know, you can't hit the guy in front of you. Really, if you're not the first 2 rows, you really have to, you know, let off a lot for the trucks in front of you. And, you know, it really takes away your patience because you really want to go forward. And it's just really hard to go forward sometimes. But also, you know, you've got to be able to bump the trucks around you, right? You've got to be able to run the right line around the track. If you're leading in a line like Lucas Lyons is on that outside, you've got to be able to really pinch and, you know, slow those 2 bottom lines down. It's really difficult, but, like, if you can, you know, anyone can win these races, theoretically. Even if everyone wrecks in front of you, you can easily get around everyone and, you know, somehow miraculously win the race. So, there's a lot of skill involved coming to these super speedways that people just, you know, kind of underestimate. And, you know, especially when you have 60 drivers, it's insane. But nevertheless, you know, the boys are putting on a good show for us.
Definitely pit stops will be happening this time. The 34
caution
is called in, but caution down the speedway.
I think that was another render distance caution.
Yeah.
Looked like. So what I'll do is I'll bring up the caution screen, maybe see if we can find something. But it may be out of our render distance, so we will be right back here at the Bluegrass iRacing series.
All right, welcome back. So we don't have the caution, but it's John Darnell. Was it Darnell? You said?
Darnell, I believe. It looked like he had gotten tagged. It was Darnell, yeah, John Darnell. He looked like he maybe got tagged in the left rear coming off of turn 2, and we couldn't quite see what happened after that. But definitely a little bit further back around, the 25th position, it looked like we had a incident. But this is where it's going to be very interesting. Lap 78 out of 100. We'll probably see the entirety of the field pit this time by. And once you get off of pit road, it's going to go straight to turning the car off and clutching. Because these guys are going to maybe make it by taking this stop on fuel here. So what this means is that you really want to be in the middle of the pack. Right now we're coming to 22 laps to go. It's about where we can make it on fuel if you're saving in the middle of the pack. The only problem with it is if you're up front, you'll probably only be able to go about 21 laps on fuel, so you'll really be pushing it. But again, we do get a lap under caution going around here, so I believe we won't be going green till lap 80, which is a good thing for these guys to save fuel.
And you'll see the ones in the back come in, probably making their
of course
splashy go.
Even letting off the throttle and just coasting around the track, you still probably are using a solid 0.2 to 0.3 gallons, which at the end of this race, that's about a quarter of a lap or so. And some of these drivers might be running out a quarter of a lap to the finish, and
definitely
anything can happen. You can really see that all these drivers are saving. As Matthew T. Lee, you hear no engine out of that car right now, which means that he is saving. You can see the pace car right up ahead, going into turn 3 right now. All these drivers right now saving because this is about where their pit fuel strategy is. So it looks like we'll probably get the lights off next time by.
So you look at Ron Morris Jr. He's right behind the pace car. He's in position 47.
Yep. And he's
so how many drivers start the race?
60.
All 60 started the race?
All 60 started.
God bless America.
Yeah, everyone pays in their $25 to enter this race, that is. And it all goes towards, the pot of this race. Obviously, $500 guaranteed to the winner tonight. And more than likely, the top 3 or top 5 or so will also get a pretty good prize based off the entry. So, a lot of drivers still have a chance to win. Ron Morris Jr., I'm not sure how many laps he is down, but if Ron Morris Jr. is only a lap down, then, he can easily still win this race by getting back on the lead lap, even with a little bit of damage. So, you see a lot of these drivers really on the apron right now. At least we're looking at Matthew T. Lee right there on the bottom. They're really just trying to save as much fuel as they can so they could go full out on this race run. Even if you know that you can make it all the way, as we're hitting 21 laps to go right now, if you can make it all the way, and you can by taking and filling up on fuel right now, you still want to save. It looks like the kind of all wonky right now. I'm not really sure who's going where, but I'll figure it out here in a second. But these guys, you really just got to save as much fuel as you can, and that gets you, and you'll be able to run up front a little bit. If you're like Matthew T. Lee right now, you don't want to be up. And that's the last thing that you want to do. And it looks like there's a little, I'm not sure if they're just saving. I don't see another lap to go for these guys.
Yeah.
Maybe they were just waiting for a truck to get up there. Sometimes the cars stall whenever you clutch them. Pace car lights are off. These guys are really going everywhere, which shows me that they're all really just trying to save as much. So we'll see what happens here. I'm not 100% sure what's going on. As you see, the 52 truck is kind of up there everywhere, and then Matthew T. Lee's kind of pinning him down to the bottom. So I'm not really sure what's going on. Nevertheless, a restart, 20 to go restart. So, I would like right now to be maybe like the 4th or 5th car in line for the first 10 laps or so. And then after that, you really got to be one of the first trucks to make your way back up front. Hopefully we can figure out this mess here. Looks like they finally are.
Well, kind of confused on the second row. He looked at 40-60 boosted inside.
Yeah.
So a lot of people say a lot of black flags are fixing to happen. They're going to extend the caution to make it another lap around as they try to get scoring correct.
And you know, even if you aren't getting a black flag, I'd still be yelling, "Yeah, extend it one more. Give me some more. Give me another lap to save." So, I mean, nevertheless, this isn't going to be a bad thing. But obviously, a little bit some scoring issues, and you know, anything can happen here at Talladega. In 2000, we saw Dale Earnhardt. Oh, I just saw it in the chat too. That was perfect timing. In 2000, Dale Earnhardt went from 18th to first in like 4 laps or something. Won the race. In 2001, you know, Dale Jr. went from 6th to first in the last, you know, 5 laps or something like that with a package that was very hard to pass in. Anything can happen. I mean, right,
my prediction, the next Cup race that is a restrictor plate, Chuck Blake is starting dead last and he will win it.
Pretty solid. I believe they go to Daytona, the race before the chase. Or the playoffs, whatever they call these. So, you know, anything can really happen. And, you know, speaking of that, make sure that y'all, if y'all are new here to the Bluegrass iRacing series, make sure y'all check out our other series on Monday nights. The Bluegrass iRacing Truck Series runs. On Tuesday nights, the Bluegrass iRacing Xfinity Series runs. And I'll be your broadcaster for both those nights. And then my good friend over here, Steve, is running Wednesday nights for the Bluegrass iRacing Cup Series. They're all very, very fun to watch, all having really, really good seasons. It's been very competitive in all 3 series. Make sure that y'all go check it out. It's all on the Facebook and YouTube page. And then also tonight, make sure that y'all give a thumbs up for the broadcast. I know it's not been perfect. It's not been smooth, but we made it 81 laps so far with only a few difficulties. And it looks like we're going to have a really good finish to this race, Steve.
Definitely. As they're racked and stacked, the lights are on the pace vehicle. We got a lot of drivers complaining right now. But that's all right. We got a show to put on for you.
Yeah, and in this case, if you're the race director, more than likely, if everyone's complaining about cars, just clear all the black flags and let them race. That's what I say. So we'll hopefully get to go green this time by. And Matthew T. Lee out front in that 04 machine, the 11 who's inside. I believe Matthew T. Lee took the outside, but the 11 who's inside, that's Dylan Jones. Behind them, you see the 90 truck. 46. Matthew Selby and Daniel Eberhardt. We're going to hit the Geico restart zone, and it looks like we're going green this time by. 19 laps to go here at Talladega in the Freedom 100.
Well, definitely look at there's good side by side. That was a good start for your first 2-3 rows there.
Yeah.
But the outside line get a good start. As they're in a bit of 1 and 2 right now, the 04 lead the way. That's Matthew Lee in that middle lane out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Now look at that third lane being formed off of turn number 2.
Oh, they're gonna wreck here soon. Cody Eagles is the first truck up there. Matthew Baker followed him up there. Now Eberhardt's up there. And I gotta be careful again. Blocking is really gonna create some incidents. Oh, Kenneth McCullough, what a save in the middle of the field that is. That was not easy to do. He was dead sideways in the corner and kept it straight. Hopefully they can keep it straight here again. Look at that. They're almost touching. Wow. Matthew Baker just barely clears himself off of Kenneth McCullough's front bumper. And now we're side by side for the lead. And that's Matthew Baker challenging Eberhardt for that first position. The 92 machine on the second in line on the bottom. Really trying to push Eberhardt, but that outside line's really pushing. As you see, the 34, 03, and 5 all connected. Cody Neagle's right behind them, also pushing.
Well, you look at Matthew Selby. He jumps up to the top line there to try to see if you get the drivers there. You know, get them a push down the back straight. Oh, Nelly, they almost had it going wild there on the back straightaway.
They're not going to make it much longer doing this. I can tell you that. I mean, they're. This is really it right here. This is your chance to get up front, and you're going to see in it. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, you got to get up front for the big one happens. You know, Michael Tristano right now, see the third car, or the third truck on that inside. He'll probably jump up, and he does. Right ahead of Matthew Lee. Kenneth McCullough is a sitting duck right now with the 05 of Matthew Baker, and this is where things happen right here. You're going to see a checkup from that outside line in the middle line. because they're side by side, and that's usually where drivers kind of just get into the car in front of them. This is usually where incidents happen, but also incidents happen whenever you try to change lanes and block, and it looks like whoever was on the bottom there, I think that was Matthew Lee was on the bottom. He came up in front of Matthew Baker. He's going to drop back down to the bottom. 3 wide again for the lead. Christopher McCullough's going to move down to that bottom. And here comes a big checkup. We have drivers on the apron, and this is where things get dicey right here. This is what I'm talking about. Whenever they change lanes, it stacks up every other car behind them, as they're not going to make it much farther doing this. This is insane.
Definitely, as you
4
know.
wide.
4 wide there, coming to the line as we complete lap number 84. As my good friend Jerry Van Sickle saying, you know, they're sticking the snoot up the skirt there.
That's what. That's
what's going to cause them.
Right here.
Yeah.
We've got to see the big one here soon. They're 4 wide. They can't make it much longer doing this. And you can really see how tight they are. There's, 40 cars in a blanket right here. One of them's got to tap one another here soon. But this is amazing racing here in the Bluegrass iRacing series. 4x4x4 in the middle of this pack. This reminds me of 2011 Talladega.
And they're still keeping it going. So on that 4th line on the outside.
One truck in the wall. I don't know who that is. That might be RS Sitter. Oh, they're wrecking. Big wrecking. The 2 cars around.
All right, man. Caution is
And
out.
golly. Wow. And we will get that replay up for y'all. But it was bound to happen the way they are racing. So we'll go ahead and go to our caution screen, and we'll get a replay of this wreck. All right, we are back, and we're going to keep up the this screen here just so we can see what happened. Again, 4 wide. You're going to see Jonathan Adkins on the bottom is just going to maybe push tight. Or no, it looks like maybe he gets a tap from that 6 car, which I believe is Finley Fitzsimmons. And you can see right here, Daniel Molnix is going to slide up into the 83 or the 38 of Chad Ross, but you can see right here Jonathan Adkins nowhere to go, just kind of gets turned right in front of him.
Woo!
You can kind of see from here Jonathan Adkins around. Daniel Molnix is actually going to go right back up in the middle of the field. Joey Zala just in the worst place at the worst time. Brian Terry going to get a piece of that. That's Mike Kostick in the 8 truck outside, who actually may not get a ton of damage. And right there, he'll hit the wall pretty hard. Jonathan Cofield around. The 7 truck is also around there. And you can see another big hit. That's the 04. Not Matthew Lee, it's the other 04, but definitely a lot of trucks involved. So now, if you're a little bit back, even if you didn't get in that wreck, I still think the move is to maybe try to take some fuel here just to make sure you can make it all the way.
Definitely, that would help them out. That's for sure.
Really quickly, we did get asked. I don't know if we'll go 4 wide again, but we could definitely let's get some cockpit action from that run. That was insane. They were 4 wide for a while, and they just were not moving anywhere. So let's see if we get someone pretty good here.
I'll go on board with Jonathan Atkins.
Jonathan Adkins. He's the 17. Jonathan Adkins here. This is what it looks like to be 4 wide. You can see really how tight they are. And let's actually go maybe Daniel Molnix, who was involved in that last incident, who's maybe in the middle. And you can really see how tight it is. I mean, they're literally on each other's doors. It literally looks like you're on each other's doors and everyone is moving around. And look how tight it is right here. I mean, look, they're literally hitting each other in the middle of the straightaway, and usually that turns them around. And this, I really don't know how they made it as far as they did. And, you can really see, and this is where Daniel Molnix gets turned around. You can really see he just had nowhere to go. And pretty big wreck there. Another big one, and I don't think that's going to be the end of it. And here's from Trevor Aswornoff, who was up there a little bit. I believe it's how you say it, Trevor Asnorm. I'm not sure. Sorry, I butchered your name, but Trevor, nevertheless, you can see how tight he is right here. I mean, look, there's a car literally like in his window. Like he can reach out and touch that truck. This was insane racing.
Wouldn't it be something if a truck got too close to you, you actually just stick your hand out to push them away?
Yeah, I would not recommend that. It's never ends up out well. But You know, these guys right up here, you know, look at this. I mean, they're literally bouncing off one another. So, but again, there's a massive prize for winning this. I mean, it's going to pay for this week's groceries if you win this.
Yeah,
So,
$5, right?
a lot more than that. Multiply it by 100.
Ah.
So yeah, I mean,
Oh.
these
Well,
guys...
Tony Iverson was removed from the race.
Tony.
Breaking news. Oh.
I mean, this has been a pretty insane race. You know, all we're asking is that my computer holds on for the end of this race. So, yeah, let me see.
Well, how about this? We're going to rack them. We're going to stack them. We're going to try to let them loose one more time as Chuck Blake is leading the field in the pace car.
So really quickly too, just kind of getting it. I believe that for tonight's race, the top 5 does get paid. If you finish first place tonight, it's $500, $300 for second place, $200 for third place, $150 for fourth, and $100 for fifth. So, nevertheless, the top 5 is a pretty good finish. You know, if you finish fifth, you get $100. If you finish first, multiply that by 5, and that's what you get. So, a lot is on the line, not even for finishing first, but for finishing in the top 5 here in the Freedom 100s. Nevertheless, too, we'll try to get the winner in here and talk with the winner tonight. I believe that's what we'll probably end up doing tonight, talking to our winner. And, Steve, who do you think our winner's going to be today?
The winner's going to be someone in the back.
You know what? That's a good call. Because then at the end of this, you could say, oh, they were in the back at one.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm just looking through the field. It's going to be the car that's Cletus. But, well, you're looking at the pace car fixing to make that left-hand turn down pit road to 03. Again, it's going to bring us back to the Geico restart zone. As we could...
And really quickly now, with a few more laps under caution, it's really good for those who, you know, maybe were pretty close to making it. I believe no matter what, all these drivers are still going to be pretty close, but it definitely helps that margin of making it now. And they're just going to hope they don't get a green-white checker.
Definitely, that's what they're going to pray they don't. Hopefully, it races all the way out. But you look right now, we're 2 by 2, many rows deep. As you look at the 5 right now, getting pushed by the 6. The 5 machine is Matthew Baker. Again, he's being pushed by the 6, and that is John Ward.
That is actually Cody Neagles, who is on that outside in the 6 truck. Cody Neagles is scored as the 14, but he's the 6 in the race. But Cody's actually been up front all night. He's made his way, you know, from the middle of the pack back up front, and we see him as we got a caution. As you can see right there, just in the back of our screen, we have another caution. And we'll get this replay up as quick as possible. All right, so we have our caution here, and that is the 69 of David Farmer. Right behind him, Brian Terry's really pushing hard. That's for that third line. Right there, you can kind of see Brian Terry go down the track a little bit, and he's just going to make slight contact with David Farmer right there, and that's just going to push him straight around, and that's what causes this wreck. And you can see David Farmer really try to save it, but not much he could do, and it's going to turn him around in front of the field. And there were a few other drivers involved in that. Maybe we could see if there's anybody else really But right there, you see right in the middle of the field, and Brian Terry goes around, and that's really looks like it. Maybe a few other cars involved, but not too many. So really quickly, we're gonna get a quick word from our sponsors over at Butt Kicker. All right. Also, for tonight, we have some really cool shirts for the Bluegrass iRacing series. And if at any point you would like to purchase a shirt, they are limited. Please contact Jason Collins, or you can go to the website www.bluegrassiracing.com and you can find these really cool shirts. Please buy them while they're limited. And we also have a few other sponsors tonight. Red Rocket Building and Barbecue. Brian Terry, who was unfortunately involved in that last accident. They're a great sponsor for us. Butt Kicker, who we just saw. And also Bluegrass Power Washing. I'd also like to thank Jonathan Cofield's in the field tonight. Cofield has definitely been a good partner for us this year in the Bluegrass iRacing series. So thanks to all of our sponsors who make this possible week in and week out. And Steve, what are we gonna have here? Because I've had a few cautions back to back.
It's gonna be green the rest of the way.
Green rest away. That's confidence. I like confidence. And lap 91. We'll be going to lap 92 next time by. So green flag on lap 93. 7 laps to go. And we can already see the urgency in these drivers to get up front. But up front right now is that 05 of Matthew Baker. Right behind him, Cody Neagles in that 6 truck. And Ethan McCullough, our pole sitter. And actually, the top 3 all qualified in the top 4 tonight. The only other one not being up there is David Sheets, who had a problem on pit road. But you see Daniel Eberhard in that 90 truck is up there. The 92 at John Ward. Also up in this top 5, the 11, Dylan Jones. We can see right up there. Matthew Lee in that 04 truck. Too far behind them is the 34 truck. Michael Triscaro. And it looks like they're going double file this time by. So, time to tighten those belts one more time and see if we can push to the finish here. But I'm going to contradict your statement. I don't think we are done wrecking yet. I think we at least got 1 or 2 more hits. As, everyone's been very feisty to get up to those positions. And if you look, a lot of these trucks still look pretty good.
Well, so, this is what I believe. I believe the wreck's going to happen after the white flag's thrown.
Gotcha. It's a good call. And, again, they're racing for $500 here. Not only that, I mean, the top 5, again, it goes 500, 300, 200, 150, and 100. So you really just want to get in the top 5. And then you kind of get what you need. Get that money. Again, I want to thank Jason Collins for making this all possible. For the Freedom 100. In honor of our July 4th. July 4th was yesterday, but this is our July 4th race since all the series are off for July 4th. This, this would not be possible without all of our drivers tonight. So, thank you to all of our drivers who have came out here and have, allowed us to do this. As it's been a very fun race so far and very interesting. And our main sponsors for the race, Cofield, Bluegrass Power Washing, Scott Fritz Designs, Red Rocket Buildings and Barbecue, and our Bluegrass podcast. Make sure y'all go check out the podcasts that we've had in recent weeks and years. So make sure you go check them out. But Steve, looks like we're getting ready to go green here once again.
Definitely, we're 2 by 2 coming to the Geico restart, so we'll go back to green flag racing. Just here momentarily. On lap number 93, let's see, green flag is out. They fire off. As now we're lap number 93, 7 laps to go for these mighty trucks and their drivers. As you look right now, the top two. Oh, someone just got nailed in the rump.
Yeah, but man, Cody Eagles right now has been so, and that outside line is really going to check up here. Kenneth McCall is going to have to, oh, he just barely squeezed in there, and he's not going to be able to. He has to go to the outside. Cody Neagles has been so aggressive, and he's up there. Oh, Cody Neagles! Oh, Cody Neagles goes around. I should not have said that. But it looks like we're going to... Oh, one car came up the track and then tagged Alex Healy. Alex Healy around. That's going to bring out the caution. And there were about 5 different wrecks inside of that one. But we'll go grab the caution here and see what happens. Well, Steve, I did not pay them anything for this caution. Let's see what happens here. As it looks like, I don't know who that is, but right there, someone just tries to come up. It's into Cody Neagles. I'm not sure who that is. Maybe we can get a view. That actually might be Matthew T. Lee. That is, and we'll see if we can get a view on who that truck is. That is Matthew T. Lee. So Matthew T. Lee maybe just thought he was clear and tried to get up and just not able to do it. And you can really see, you know, they were trying to save it, but right there, you know, Cody Neagles is just going to get tagged. And then there was one truck that was all the way on the bottom over. And I believe that was Matthew T. Lee. And he comes shooting up the track here. You see, he comes shooting up the track and nails Alex Healy. They're on, you know. Alex Healy, watch this huge hit. Oh, big hit. See, they wrecked all around, and, you know, unfortunately tags the 3 truck of Ryan Johnson. Oh, nowhere to go. Hopeless feeling. See the big hits all around. The 2 truck involved in that. And we have another caution here, Steve, which you said would not happen.
Well, it's because you paid them to have it.
Yeah. So, Prohl's going to be able to get his lap back. Kenneth McCullough Jr. is going to be our leader. Still have yellow lights, so I'd be guessing that we'd be going green next time by. So we'll go 96, 97. Our green flag lap, I believe, which will put us at 4 to go, just short of a green-white checker. And yeah. I was really bringing it up, too. Cody Neagles had done a great job tonight and always been up front, but, you know, unfortunate... Not into his race. I believe his truck will be all right, but if he stayed in, it looks like he did. But unfortunately, just catches some bad luck there, and Matthew T. Lee really just kind of got into the side of him trying to change lanes, and then I don't know if Matthew was just trying. It looked like he was just trying to get back up on track, and he tagged Alex Healy, and fortunately, it'll be the end of Alex Healy's race, including the 3 of Ryan Johnson. A lot of really good trucks involved in that last wreck, but you know, at this point in the race, you know, you don't really think about any moves, you just kind of do it.
Right. Don't think, ask questions later.
Exactly. And you know, you guys know what they're racing for. Nevertheless, Kenneth McCullough up front. What a strong night for him. He's been literally in the top 5 almost this entire race, which is insane for a super speedway track. And, you know, he kind of did what I said earlier. Is, you know, sometimes you just got to stay up front. And, you know, it's really worked out for him tonight. You just seen him up front. So.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. If he's leading at the white flag, he will not win that race.
Well, sometimes that's how it works.
Yeah. Someone arguing about their instant points. All right, they've passed the start-finish line. The lights will go out. We'll go back to green flag racing on lap number 96. Kenneth McCall leading the way.
See, the pace lights are off. And now, if you've not pitted since lap 80, this is where you would really like it to go caution-free for the rest of the race. I have another yawn moment. But, you know, right here, you know, if you're one of these guys up front, you know, you got to make sure that you have enough fuel in the truck. You know, as you've been up front, I mean, at least Kenneth McCullough, you know, if you're one of these guys, you've been up front for a while now. And, you know, it starts to get, you know, a little bit high on fuel usage. But I believe that, you know, with as many cautions as we've had since lap 80, which is 3, I believe these guys still almost have about 5 to 6 laps left on fuel right now. So they should be able to make it all the way. The key word is should.
Should, could, and would.
Yeah, and you know, this is where everything gets interesting. I don't feel like looking through all the names, but Kenneth McCullough, you see up front right now, Daniel Eberhardt in that 90 machine to his outside, Michael Triscaro, 34 machine, you see him up in that 4th position, Jones on the bottom, Matthew Baker in the 05, Trevor Aswarnoth, I believe, something like that. Sorry, Trevor. Finley Fitzsimmons has made his way up into the top 10. Chad Ross, Matthew Selby, Tanner Coster made his way up into that top 10 tonight. So you see John Ward not too far out, sitting with Tyler Johnson. So base car's off, Steve.
Definitely we'll try one more time. Maybe
Well,
this will be the last time. Hopefully. But let's see what happens as they come to the Geico restart zone. Get the fires. We're back to racing here at Talladega with the Bluegrass Truck Series, the Freedom 100. It'll freedom some money after the checker flag is thrown. As you see right now, 2 by 2, many rows deep as they head out of turn number 2 now. Coming down the back straightaway, you know, mid-pack's getting really dicey.
Yeah, and this is where wrecks happen, is when you're changing lanes so frequently, you know, just trying to get in front of another driver. You know, that's what most of our cautions have been tonight. It's just been, you know, drivers trying to go for the same lane, trying to change lanes really quickly. And, you know, here you're not thinking about what you're doing. You are just driving. You want to get into that top 5. You want to get some money tonight. So, you know, 3 laps here left. Few drivers are in really good position, but I mean, the only position I'd want to be in is in that top 5 right now. And, oh, big wreck, hard. That's Trevor Arnsworth out to the outside wall, and this is the big one at Talladega.
Ooh.
A lot of drivers involved in this crash. This took out most of the field. Look, they're still wrecking. As the first car that I saw go around was that 05 of Matthew Baker. Maybe we'll see. We can get a look at what happened here. So right there, you can see, let's go right here. You see a 3 wide, and I bet the 46 is going to tag the 6 who goes up into Matthew Baker. And no, actually the 46 just kind of gets into Matthew. Right here, I mean, watch these hard hits. Right there, you see Trevor. Trevor's going to go hard into the outside wall here. Big hit. And then right here, you see the 46 get tagged from 6. I believe is that Finley Fitzsimmons in the 6 truck. And then you see the 92 go around. He had a really good night. And then not only that, you know, back here, you have a second wreck that's happening. And see all the massive crashes going. Where? That's Tyler Johnson. Absolutely. It's not Tyler Johnson. That was Tanner Coster. Pancake. Trevor, who was just sitting in the middle of the track, nowhere to go. And right there, you see the 7 other kind of wreck right there. The 4 cars involved in it. And look at all these guys over here. I believe that's Lucas Lyons. 7 truck of Austin Green. Man, I could tell you that whoever was that 24 truck was so close. It was Tyler Johnson. Let's watch from the cockpit. And this is what we mean. Like, you can't see anything right here. And, you know, right there you see, you can really check up and look at that. Unbelievable job. And then look right here. Boom. literally the last car he had a miss, he's gonna get caught up with, and unfortunate. But yeah, it looks like Matthew Selby will be given the EOL for that. That was the 46 truck that just snuck his nose in the middle. And going green white checkered race. You see up top, green white checkered 1 out of 3. But we have a few guys right now that are definitely going to be pretty brokenhearted after that, as you were top 5 going into the tri-oval for the last 2 laps, and now you're not. But let's go look at our top 5. Kenneth McCullough still out front. Daniel Eberhardt 2nd. Dylan Jones 3rd. Michael Triscaro's been up front all night right now in 4th. And Finley Fitzsimmons 5th. Chad Ross. Michael Larch. Robert Richards. We've not really heard much about Robert tonight. He's made his way up into that 9th place position. And Scott Fritz right now in 10th. Joe Field. Michael Robinson. John Costa. Jacob Gonzalo. Cody Neagles, who's go around but is back up into the top 20. Matthew Lee and Matthew Dula right now round out our top 20. Again, apologize about the overlays tonight. Kind of a last second thing, but our main overlay provider went down, so you know, we could work with what we have, and luckily Steve McMillan joined me in the booth tonight. And
even though I have no clue what I'm doing.
Yeah,
I'm here.
I don't think we really have any idea what we're doing, but you know, nevertheless, you know, I think it's been a very good race so far tonight, and
Definitely,
you know, it's you know, this is it right here. You know, this is where you got to go for that win. $500. These drivers can taste it, but you got to get there first.
alrighty.
So lights are probably gonna go out, and they will. So this is gonna be our first green white checkered of the night. We can use 3 of them. This is gonna be our first green white checkered. So if there's a caution before the white flag again, we will rack them back up and have another restart. But if we get to the white flag, the race is official. No more cautions. We'll race back to the line. And you know, oh my goodness, these guys should be able to make it all the way on fuel, but they definitely have to be close. I would say that they have enough fuel, but they're not comfortable with it. You will always like to have a full tank of fuel. So, yeah, again, make sure y'all like the stream tonight. Subscribe if you'd like to see this more often. More of our Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday night leagues. Please come check us out. You can go to our website, check out our Facebook, Bluegrass iRacing series. Nevertheless, thanks for all the support tonight. Love having y'all in the chat. Promise I read every single message. But Steve, what do you got to do here to win this race?
Well, I can tell you, when I raced at Daytona, Mikey, I was a lap down with a green white checkered, and I finished 5th on the lead lap. Anything can happen.
Well, if anything can happen,
anything can happen. You know what I'm saying? Anything can happen.
You know, we have names up in the top 10 that we've literally just not even seen tonight. So, you know, 60 drivers came into this race, and now, you know, I don't even know how many are left, but I believe that, you know, there's still a decent amount of drivers that are on the lead lap. I believe there's still over like 40 trucks on the lead lap.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, definitely anything is possible. Race car is off. Might be our last one, but not 100% sure. But we are back at the Geico restart zone. The green flag is back out here at Talladega. You see big stack up. Kenneth McCullough went late in the box, which he could do. Nothing wrong with that. But Kenneth McCullough out front right now. Dylan Jones try to push him, but Eberhardt on that outside has help from that 34 of Triscaro. So this is where things get dicey, but you want to be, you know, second, third row. That's where you got to make the move next lap. We'll see if we can make it to the white flag that is off of turn 2.
Where you looking at now, do you see right there the 4th row on back, kind of went 3 wide there as you try to see the outside line of Foreman. Down the back straightaway, though, your top 4 rows are 2 by 2 4 rows deep.
Yeah,
As
they're
they're in the
4
middle.
wide right there. That ain't gonna work. They might wreck off a 4. It looks
Oh,
like they did.
Nelly.
All right, man.
Caution's out once again.
We said that last caution wasn't going to be last. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at this. We can go and pull it up really quickly. I cannot tell who that is right there on the bottom. That might be Michael Robinson, and it's not. Let me see if I can get that. Is Joe Zalo right here on the bottom. This is what we were talking about right here. We were 4 wide, and this never really works well. You see Jonathan Cofield in that mess, and it looks like right here, you know, that's just 4 wide racing. Maybe a little bit of a tap came up into one, but Joe Zalo's gonna go hard on this outside wall. Look at this big hit. Oh, nothing that you could do if you're those drivers, you know. And those are some massive hits, you know. Cofield. Unfortunately, looks like Cody Neagle's also involved in this one. The 57 truck. Looks like he also got a piece of this. Seven to Jacob Reeves at 84. Truck, I believe. Destroyed. At the 84. Robert Richards, who we just talked about. Unfortunate. And I mean, this is literally all you see. Is right here, I mean, just nowhere. So quick, massive hits for all those guys. And Steve, getting another green white checkered again. Our second out of two out of three attempts. So,
well, they better try to make this one a go-getter. That's for sure.
Yeah, and now if you're these guys, you really have to save. This is the last thing you wanted. You could really see everyone on the apron really just trying to save. I would say that now, if you get one more caution, more than likely these guys up front are going to have to pay. I don't think they can make it. And looks like pace lights are still on. Do we dare drag our... Actually, I'm not going to touch anything. Because you know what? The stream is working. So I'm not even going to touch Discord. So I was going to say maybe we could drag a friend up in here and talk to them really quickly. But you know what? They probably have a lot on their mind right now. And the last thing they want to hear is our voice.
That's right.
So,
that's right.
You know what we'll do? We'll go ahead and play. We'll play our sponsor video again for our friends over at Butt Kicker, and then we'll be back with you in just a moment.
All right, welcome back to the Bluegrass Truck Series, the Freedom 100, live on the Bluegrass Facebook and YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on YouTube. It doesn't cost you a thing. If you're on Facebook, make sure you hit that follow button, as we're under our under caution for our second green, white, checkered. As the drivers right now, you know, they pitted under that caution, you know, what was it, 20 laps or so ago. They might be kind of hurting with these green white checkers as laps start to wind down, as they're hitting that threshold mark. But you look at it right now, you see the drivers, looks like the lights are fixing to go out. We're fixing to try it one more time. All right, they passed the Geico restart zone. Lights do go dark on a pace vehicle. We're going back to green flag racing for another green, white, checkered with the Bluegrass Truck Series. Kenneth will choose the inside line for this restart.
Lining up here.
What's that? I hear Mikey somewhere.
Yeah. Lining up here. Oh, I actually left my stuff on, but I'm sorry. But who cares? Kenneth McCullough, our leader. You know, this is where it all's gonna matter right here. Said it once and we'll say it again because I believe that we get one more caution. These guys up front, I don't know if they'll be able to make it all the way. You know, I just don't think they could do it. I think they're, you know, they've stayed out since lap 80. You know, I think that's when they took fuel, was around like lap 80-ish, lap 79. So, you know, these guys are really pushing around, you know, 24 laps on fuel. Now, to save them, they've had 5 cautions, so, you know, they've probably had, you know, 3 laps each to kind of save around here. But even under, you know, caution, it's still really hard to save enough fuel for these green-white checkers. So, I would say this will probably be the last one until we might see, you know, maybe a few drivers run out of fuel like on the last lap or so. But you know, nevertheless, as of right now, I don't think these guys are worried about fuel. And yeah,
You're probably right.
I think you just got to go for the win at this point. You can only save under caution. Once you go green, the last thing you need to worry about is fuel. So I hope all the fans and viewers out there, I hope this has been a great show for y'all tonight. This might be our last green-white checkered. We might still have one more after this. But nevertheless, coming to the Geico restart zone is Kenneth McCullough. And he will take the green flag at Talladega for our second green-white checkered. All Kenneth McCullough right now. Everhart, who is outside. Jones pushing McCullough right now. As you can already see, one car jump to the outside. 34, Triscaro. Second truck on that outside line is going to push Everhart. See Finley Fitzsimmons in that 6 truck. Really being pushed by the 99 right now. And there's still trucks going everywhere. These guys are not content with making it another lap, it looks like.
Definitely not. Now you see them 2x2 down the back straightaway. That third line's looking to perform as you see him right there stepping out of line. That was the 48 Scott Fritz. Thought a little bit better of it. Got back in line. Right now the 0-3 of Kenneth leading the way in the middle of 1 and 2, or 3 and 4. Coming off of turn number 4. Mikey, we're going to see the white flag this time.
No, we are
and
not. We got one car to grass. RS Center around. And man, we were so very close.
Well, Mikey, this is one thing's for sure. When we go back to green flag racing, there ain't no turning back around this time.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to cause this incident. As I believe this incident up here was a separate incident. Because I believe that we're going to take a look here from Jacob Reeves, that the caution was already out. So I believe this was a second incident right here. And I think this is the only one we could see, but RS Center, Scott Fritz, Mike Kostek, looks like RS Center just tried to go in the middle. It was just, the hole was not there. That's going to send Mike Kostek up the track. And yeah, unfortunately, he's going to catch a lot of guys. You see Ward involved. But yeah, I believe there was a separate incident that we just did not get to see because I believe the caution was out. As maybe we can get a good cockpit.
It might have been someone that was in like 80th position.
Yeah. I mean, we have that many drivers. So if you look out on the fence, there's caution lights. I'll let you know whenever the caution's out. I don't see any caution lights. So there's a caution light right up there in front. And so right here, caution is already out. So let's see. I believe right there, caution's out. You can kind of see it change and start to blink. And I believe the wreck had not even happened yet. So you can see one car turned around, but that would not bring out the caution right away. So there had to be another caution kind of further on back that we just did not see. But you know, still a lot of cars that can get this win tonight. So, 3 out of 3 here on green, white, checkered. Who knows if these guys can make it all the way on fuel? I don't really know what you got to do here.
I don't know. It's kind of exciting, that's for sure.
So I believe the way iRacing works is that if they take the green flag here, and if they wreck before they get to the white flag, I believe the race is done.
Right.
It'll end right on the spot the second there's another caution. So the way that these guys have been racing, and there's so many cars, Kenneth McCullough might be in a very good position right now.
Or he could be in a very bad position.
Exactly. Because here's the thing: is that you want to be the leader with 2 to go if there's a caution when there's no green, white, checkered left. You want to be the leader. The only problem is that you don't want to be the leader during the white flag, because that outside line, once they really get pushing, they can really get around you. But I mean, the way how it's been is that everyone is just going everywhere. Like, no one is really set to stay in line, and you know that's how you're supposed to be. I mean, you don't want to be sitting in line. No one here is content with second. They want to finish first. So I don't really know how much we're gonna see of people helping one another. It just doesn't seem like everyone is really helping. It's like they're really just trying to go for the win. But as you can see, up top, 107 out of 109. We should see the pace lights go off this time. Make sure in the chat, make sure y'all put in who you want to win this race. Here we got a few favorite drivers up front or near the front. You know, these drivers right now just really want to make it to the white flag. All I want to see. You see a few drivers still really saving fuel right now. Kenneth McCullough up on track. Looks pretty content with his fuel saving method. Cody right behind him, though, is on the apron really trying to save as much fuel as they can. And this has been a very fun race. A lot of action. Stayed clean for the most part, but once we started getting near the end, obviously, you know, this is where everyone knows that it's go time and everyone's been pushing up front. So, but again, this is where everything happens right here. This is it. No more green flag laps after we hit 110. 110 is the furthest we can go. So, you know, once they take the green flag here, this race is official. We're gonna let Steve's dog call the race.
Hey, he's getting grumpy.
I can hear that. I wasn't sure if that was you or the dog, but I'm glad to know that it's the dog now. Oh my gosh. The puppy wants the race to be over.
That's right. He's ready for bed. That is for sure.
Hey, but I could tell you though, I'm ready for this finish. I'm sure all the viewers out there are also ready for this finish. So, you know, everyone, here we go. Tighten your seatbelts for the last time. This is it right here. This is for $500 here at the Freedom 100 at the Bluegrass iRacing Series. For all the marbles, these drivers know what's in stake here. You know, one small move here can determine your fate in this race. We'll see who's willing to make that move. Green flag back out here at Talladega.
A good start for your front row as it passed the start-finish line there. 2 by 2. You look right there, the third line already getting started mid-pack there. As they head into turn number 1, Kenneth leading the way in the 03, getting pushed by the 11. The 90 on the outside, getting pushed by 34.
Oh,
we got
we're
one
wrecking.
car. Saw it's a wrecking
Caution's
going
out.
on.
I think it's Kenneth McCullough.
I would say
I'm not
that's
sure. True. Eberhardt is contesting, but I think Kenneth McCullough right now might just try to be saving fuel. It looked like he was out front, and it looks like he will take the lead. So Kenneth McCullough. We will see. Remember, he has to make it all the way around. So if you're Kenneth McCullough right now, maybe speed up a little bit, but if you don't have enough fuel, just coast all the way around. That's what you got to do. Mm-hmm. And remember, our top 5 tonight get a cash prize. So we will see in what order they cross the line. But it looks like Kenneth McCullough is our leader. Daniel Eberhardt second, Michael Triscaro's third, Dylan Jones fourth, and Finley Fitzsimmons round out the top 5. We will see if this race is official. It should be done next time we come by. But again, remember, all these drivers have to make it all the way. You can see Dylan Jones all the way on the bottom. I don't hear anything come from that truck, so he's really trying to save, because you don't get to the checkered flag, and it doesn't matter. You don't keep your position. So we'll see.
Well, Mikey, I'm going to get off here. Let you do the post-race interviews.
Sounds good. Thanks for joining me in the booth for the Freedom 100 tonight. This was a show, and everyone was really glad to have you in the booth tonight, Steve.
Well, thank you. I wish I could be more help, but hey, it's a blind here. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? It's okay, because through all the issues tonight, we managed to get a good race out of it, and that's really all we can ask for. BluegrassRacing. So thank you, Steve McMillan, for
You're
making
welcome.
this night as good as it was.
All right, you have a good one, Mikey.
Thank you, Steve. Right here, you can see Kenneth McCullough. Looks like he has enough fuel left in that truck. And here it is this time by Kenneth McCullough will win the Freedom 100, as you see in a caution photo finish with Daniel Eberhardt. You can see right there. Daniel Eberhardt 44th the second. Dylan Jones went 45th the third. Finley Fitzsimmons went 54th the fifth. Chad Ross went 48th the sixth. Really big movers tonight. But Kenneth McCullough will take home the $500. Daniel Eberhardt $300. Dylan Jones will take home $200. Michael Triscaro will take home $150, and Finley Fitzsimmons will round out the top 5 with $100. But I do have to say thank you to all the drivers tonight who came out here for this race. They did a fantastic job putting on a show for us tonight, and I really got to thank all the viewers out there for sticking through. I didn't have my overlays tonight. Had a few little technical difficulties twice tonight, and y'all still stayed out here tonight, so thank y'all so much. Make sure y'all come back for Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesday nights here at Bluegrass at 9 o'clock or Eastern time. Every single week we have races going on and on. We were off for the 4th of July this week, but thank y'all so much, and don't leave just yet. We will have Kenneth McCullough up in the booth here in a second once he does his burnouts. You can see, very excited to win this race. So let's go ahead and get Kenneth McCullough up here. It looks like we do have our top 3, so I'll interview the top 3. Get our 3rd place driver up in here, Dylan Jones. Hey, Dylan, you got a copy?
Sure do, bud.
Well, definitely a very interesting race. We saw you up front a lot there late into the race, and you were able to maintain it. Sadly, really didn't get to make a move or anything, because we had a few cautions there to end our night. But, tell us about your race.
Honestly, thankfully, uneventful. I mean, 60 cards out of your Talladega, everyone trying to win some money. It can go bad really quick. So I was just glad to have a shot there at the end. I wish we could have got a few laps to do something there, but also kind of saved us because we all barely made it on fuel, I think. So
Yeah,
I'm pretty happy with it.
and definitely because y'all came in around lap 80. Almost made it 30 laps, which is about like 8 laps, more than really you should have. So, y'all did a great job of doing that. But not only that, able, to stay clean there up front, racing really hard. And I believe for 3rd place, $200 out of this. So definitely a pretty good ending for you. As I would never be mad with that.
No, we could do this every night. We can make it our real-time jobs, right?
Exactly. So, well, Dylan, I don't know if you have any friends, family, teammates that you'd like to thank, but if you would like to, go ahead and feel free.
just give a thanks to the Bluegrass group for putting this all on, and for you guys on broadcasting it out here, and all the drivers for keeping all the fenders on, the ones that did.
All right. Well, thank you, Dylan. Have a good night. Hope to see you back here soon in the Bluegrass iRacing series.
Yes, sir.
That was Dylan Jones, our third place finisher. Really quickly, it looks like our fourth place finishers jumped in there. So why not? Let's go ahead and get a word from our fourth place finisher tonight. Hey, Michael, you got a copy?
I do. How you doing, man?
Doing great. Definitely a really good show. We saw you up front a lot tonight. You were able to kind of stay in the top 5, especially for that last like 30 or so laps. Even through the cautions, you found your way. I definitely saw you, that second car somewhere. I always thought 34 second in each line, and you looked really good tonight. So tell us about your race, Michael.
Yeah, it was a good race. I lost my teammate a little earlier in the race, but I want to be the pusher in this new truck package. So I was sitting in a really good spot there behind Daniel, and I wasn't going to give any room for his teammate to get up. So I was just kind of hoping Dylan just stayed behind Kenny, and us four can take it home, which we ended up doing. I'm a racer though, so part of me, I like to win the money, but part of me wants to race that thing all the way out and see where we finish. But overall, it was a great run, and I love this package, and I'm just honored to race up here with the big boys. I've learned a lot from some of these guys up here, and definitely paying off.
Yeah, and I'm not 100% sure, but I believe there is still a prize winning for the top 5 tonight. And coming in fourth place, if it was the same as what our director said, I believe fourth place was 150. So if that is still true, you still get a little bit of cash tonight for finishing fourth place. And so if you have any friends, teammates that you would like to thank, any sponsors, go ahead and feel free, Michael.
Yeah, man, I want to thank Mike Davenport helping me out that race. Also, the KSR, they helped me out in that race. I know Baker was going to help me too. So thank all those guys. Big race tomorrow night, PGR Thursdays. It's a race I put on every Thursday night, and should be a good one. So hopefully we got some guys out there listening. Come on, join us.
All right, buddy. Congratulations on your fourth place finish tonight. Hope to see you back soon.
All right, man. Thank you.
All right, so let's go ahead and grab our second place finisher tonight, Daniel Eberhardt. Hey, Daniel, got a copy?
Yes, sir. Gotcha.
Well, just one position short. So very close. And, sadly, never really got to show for it as we had a few cautions there to end the race, unfortunately. But nevertheless, still top 5. I believe still get paid for finishing second place tonight. So tell us about your race, Daniel.
Yeah, man, I'm not mad one bit. Hey, the 90 Ford F-150, Ryko, the team ran really good, man. I couldn't ask for more. I'm not mad about it. I mean, finishing in a money spot's better than finishing not in a money spot. Kenneth's a great driver. I've been working with him a lot lately, and he would feel the same way about me. He'd probably it stings a little bit, but you're not like, oh, I'm gonna be so upset about it. I mean, at the end of the day, I still finished in a good spot. The top 5 was well deserving. I was happy to see Michael Triscaro. He gets wrecked out a lot of these things in other money races. So happy to see him get a good finish tonight. Happy to see Dylan Jones get a good finish. Just a crazy night altogether.
Well, it's good to hear that you had a lot of fun tonight. And, I think crazy really sums up the end of this race very well. It was pretty crazy, 60 trucks in here tonight. And nevertheless, second place is pretty damn good. So, again, if you have any teammates, family, friends, sponsors that you'd like to thank, go ahead, Daniel.
Yeah, thank Jason for putting this on Bluegrass. Amazing doing this tonight. Glad he changed up the payouts a little bit. It was going to be a kind of a little low for the payout in my book, but then he switched it up to pay us just top 5, so it made it a bigger payout for the guys who ran good tonight. Thank you for broadcasting it. Thank you to the good Lord above. Without him, none of this would be possible. Thank you to my wife who puts up with the hellacious nights that I do on here, running Road to Pro and running this and everything else, man. It's great, the life I live, and thank you again for what you've done tonight.
Well, it's always good seeing you, Daniel. Have a good night and hope to see you back soon, man.
Thank you, buddy.
That was Daniel Eberhardt, our second place finisher tonight, winner of 300 Buckaroos. But Our winner tonight's Kenneth McCullough, so we will get him to the booth. Kenneth McCullough, you got a copy.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Well, I feel like I've talked to you a lot lately. Kenneth, man, won the Freedom 100 tonight, brought to you by the Bluegrass iRacing Series. How does it feel to win the grand prize of $500 tonight?
Oh man, it is so awesome. Such a good race. I know we had a lot of cautions there at the end, but the race overall was an awesome race in general.
Yeah, and I was saying, like, once you kind of took the green flag for the last time, I was saying that Kenneth would not mind a caution here. He'd probably be in a great spot for a caution, so I wouldn't mind being first, and it came out perfectly for you. So, what did you have to do to win this thing? I mean, we saw you in the top 5 all night. You never really left the top 5, and every single time, you'd fall back a little bit, you'd climb your way back up. Was it about being, in front of all the wrecks and everything that was happening, or what did you have to do to make it here?
Yeah, my whole goal with coming in this thing was trying to get the pole, stay out front, do what I needed to get back to the front, just to stay behind the mayhem. There was some crashes around me there. I was able to get past them. Man, it just worked out. Got some good guys in here that gave me some help. Daniel, Dylan, man, couldn't ask for a better race for sure.
Yeah, and again, $500. That's a lot. You can go get some groceries with that. So, nevertheless, pretty good race for you, I would say. And if you have any teammates, friends, family that you would like to thank, go ahead and thank them.
Yeah, I got to thank all the family tuning in and watching. They follow us every race they get a chance to. Got to thank all my teammates, McCullough Motorsports. Thank Eberhard there. Good alliance with him and Dylan. Got to thank Jason for putting this thing on, and thank you for doing a hell of a broadcast.
Well, thank you, buddy. It's always good to see you, and we'll see you next week. Congratulations on the win tonight in the Freedom 100.
Yes, sir. Thank you, buddy.
Well, you could tell that Kenneth was very excited for this win, and congratulations to him. It's well deserved. He had a fantastic race. But I want to really quickly thank all the viewers. Thanks for sticking in tonight. I know we had a few errors on my end, a few errors not on my end, but nevertheless, still averaged over like 35 viewers the entire race. So thank y'all so much. Make sure that y'all hit the thumbs up button on Facebook and YouTube for the Bluegrass iRacing series. Y'all do a great job of allowing us to reach to further groups that we can bring into the Bluegrass iRacing series, and just makes our racing so much better. We had 60 trucks in here tonight, and it was so awesome having all the trucks. So really quickly want to thank our sponsors, Red Rocket Building and Barbecue. Also want to thank Butt Kicker and Bluegrass Power Washing. We also want to thank Scott Fritz Designs and Cofield for allowing this to happen. Without any of our sponsors, none of this would be possible. So thanks to all of our drivers, all 60 drivers that came out here and fought very hard for this win tonight. And congratulations to Kenneth McCullough Jr. on getting the win. So that is going to be it for the Bluegrass iRacing series, the Freedom 100 tonight. Again, please check us out on Facebook and YouTube under the Bluegrass iRacing series. You can also go to our website, www.bluegrassiracing.com, for more information. And yeah, thanks for a great night. And we'll be back Monday night with the Truck Series. I believe the Truck Series is next week. I'll be able to tell you. They come out next week to Michigan. Yes, it looks like Michigan. I believe all 3 series go there. So we'll be here Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday night of the Bluegrass iRacing series. Again, live on Facebook and YouTube. So make sure that y'all do not miss out on that. Nevertheless, I wish everyone a good night, and we will see you. Thanks again for tuning in to the Freedom 100 tonight here at the Bluegrass iRacing series.